Although anime with big casts of awesome characters can be a lot of fun to watch, nothing stands out more than an anime with a main character who is super powerful but also a bit of a loner. He doesn't really need to rely on other people or really like interacting with them either. Welcome back to Animeology as we run through our top picks of anime with an MC that is super powerful and also a bit of a loner. Before we begin, be sure to drop a like and subscribe down below, and without further ado, let's get right into the video. Number 10. Gargante on the Vertebral Planet. A fun fish out of water story that is set against a high concept science fiction background. The true strength of Gargantia on the Vertebral Planet is the interesting chemistry the main character maintains with the cast he encountered, telling us of a distant future where mankind has already taken to the stars and formed a galactic alliance. Caught up in an epic war between humans and squid-like aliens, humanity is on the ropes. The story focuses on a 16-year-old soldier known as Leto, a pilot of a technologically advanced mech and tasked with destroying an enemy superweapon. Leto is thrown into a wormhole and teleported to an isekai universe. Awakening on a distant and foreign planet, Leto learns of these primitive humans and an Earth that is so far underdeveloped. Having never been to Earth before, Leto has no time to think about the childhood stories and rumors of Earth. He's focused on trying to get back and help the war effort, but finds himself getting used to the language, the culture, and the lifestyle on the planet Gargantia. Number 9. Goblin Slayer. Making huge waves first released due to its extremely grim opening episode, Goblin Slayer was one of the biggest dark fantasy releases when it first came out. With some classic fantasy anime tropes, what really set this series apart was the MC, the Goblin Slayer himself. We learn of an awesome fantasy world filled with adventurers from far and wide arriving and trying to earn their riches and make a name for themselves. We follow an inexperienced priestess joining up with a fresh new party and taking on a very simple and basic goblin killing mission. But the mission goes wrong, and everyone is savagely killed or violated. Thankfully, the Goblin Slayer appears, an adventurer whose single goal is the complete destruction of goblins. He absolutely hates them due to what they did to his family. A very quiet and silent type. Most don't respect the Goblin Slayer due to the fact that he only attempts to kill lowly goblins, but no one realizes just how powerful, smart, and dangerous these goblins can get. Number 8. Sacred 7. One of our greatest weaknesses is science fiction anime. Sacred 7 is easily one of the best in the show, following a lonely MC, Alma, that is one day approached by a mysterious character, asking about the hidden power of the Sacred 7 that exists within Alma. Alma vowed to never use the power of the Sacred 7 ever again. In the past, he had hurt far too many people. But when his city is attacked by a vicious monster, Alma has no choice but to go back on his word and truly unleash the power of the Sacred 7. We soon learn that his god mode is near unrivaled. Alma faces a constant inner battle between his humanity and the raw, unhinged power of the Sacred 7. Having been reawakened, watch Alma's struggle to hold on to his humanity and protect the ones that he loves. Not only from these beasts and supernatural beings, but also from himself. Number 7. The Duke of Death and his maid. Although it does get pretty heavy at times with the emotions and the heartbreaks, Shinigami Bochan does have some fresh romantic and comedic moments to it. Now, the seasoned anime pros will immediately identify the word Shinigami, Death God. So this is a very interesting and heartwarming take on the romance genre. Really slow and heartwarming, we follow the story of Duke. As a child, Duke was cursed by a witch. Anything he touches would die. Because of this, he was forced to move away from his family to a mansion deep in the woods and forgotten by his friends, family, and loved ones. But he's not completely alone in the woods. His two servants, a butler and a maid, Rob and Alice, keep the cursed Duke company. Alice and Duke have a very engaging and intuitive relationship. Constantly teasing and flirting, their love for one another soon surpasses that of Duke and maid. This heartfelt and emotional romance in which the two people in love cannot even touch each other. Honestly, it's so painful just to even think about it. But Duke is filled with determination and begins trying to work out how to undo this horrible curse and finally embrace the love of his life. Number 6. Hiyoka. The slice of life format is seriously underrated, and it's way too rare that we see anime creators look to experiment with the short film and episodic style of storytelling. From a sea of romantic comedies, it's refreshing to see Hiyoka opt for the slice of life timing, but with a heavy mystery feel at its core. An absolutely brilliant series that has seen a great deal of success as both a novel and manga series. The anime really brings the creator's vision alive with one of the most well-done atmospheres and tones that we've ever encountered. Following Hotori Oreki joins up with his high school's classic literature club and meets an interesting cast of characters that add to the multiple episodes in a fresh and unique fashion. The literature club soon gets dragged into solving various mysteries, ranging from the light to the very heavy. You're never really sure where the latest episode of Hiyoka will take you, with one of the calmest and most pragmatic MCs we've come across in a slice of life series. Brilliant logic deductions and well thought out mysteries that keeps you guessing until the final reveal. And of course, a dash of romance to keep things spicy. Number 5. Darker Than Black. An absolutely all-around phenomenal series and a legitimate personal favorite. Darker Than Black introduces some very interesting mystery elements alongside some extremely high-concept science fiction and supernatural themes. We learn of a mysterious anomaly known as Heaven's Gate occurring in South America and Hell's Gate opening in Tokyo, changing the sky and demolishing the landscape. We started to see the emergence of these strange individuals with powerful supernatural abilities, known as contractors, start arriving. These contractors are kept a secret from the general public but are used as assassins by national governments and secret shadowy organizations. Darker Than Black is a show about spies and assassins with crazy powerful abilities, traveling around the world and engaging in intense and violent battles for valuable objects and key pieces of hidden information. The story itself is multi-layered, with the MC, Hei, undertaking assassination missions around Tokyo, while living his false double life as a shy and quiet student. A thrilling ride from scene to scene, Darker Than Black is easily one of the most ambitious anime series out there, and one that you definitely need to check out. Number 4. Phantom. Requiem for the Phantom. A really fantastic watch that itself was based on a visual novel. A very dark and heavy story about a 15-year-old boy that is kidnapped after witnessing a murder. Given the choice of joining an underworld agency or dying, his mind is wiped clean as he begins his new life as an assassin. We follow the story of Zwei through his training in this shady and interesting world until he becomes one of the greatest killers the world has ever seen, and follow him on some extremely unbelievable missions as the secretive and scary world starts to slowly unravel in front of him. Through his kidnapping, struggle, and hardship, Zwei remains calm and collected. The assassins instantly recognize his natural survival instinct. The strong male lead in this series is what makes Phantom such a phenomenal watch. Through the shaky and untrustworthy side characters and storylines throughout the series, Zwei and his killer instinct become the only thing you can truly trust. Number 3. Classroom of the Elite. Such a fantastic series with a number of key features that mark an anime of the highest quality. It's no surprise that Classroom of the Elite shall one day be considered a modern anime classic. An interesting take on the classic high school anime backstory. The series is set in a realistic future with some key sci-fi notes behind it. we learn of a world in which the Japanese government has set up special schools. These schools train people that aim to support the country in the future and are basically given a lot of freedom to do literally whatever they want to do. Our hero is an MC, this quiet and shy boy that really has no friends and just keeps to himself really. He comes across as lazy, but after a while, we start to realize just how much of a badass he really is. Slowly, we start to learn that our MC is actually extremely unmotivated and intentionally scores low marks. He's actually really intelligent and could aim to be in the top class if he wanted to. Although he doesn't really work out or go to the gym, he's actually really fit and a fantastic fighter. Number 2. Vow in the Snow. A brand new fantasy anime film that we definitely recommend you check out. We follow Shiro Emiya as he gets dragged into the world famous 5th Holy Grail War in an effort to protect his sister from being used as a sacrifice. Shiro is one of the most recognized characters across anime, a hard-working orphan that got the chance to enter a deadly tournament with the opportunity to have any wish granted to him. Vow in the Snow is a spin-off to the larger and world-renowned Fate Stay Night series. Any seasoned anime fan knows exactly about the classic world of Fate Stay, starting off as a video game back in 2004 and since spawning a number of anime series, manga, light novels, movies, and more. Vow in the Snow is a great singular film that doesn't require to have checked out anything else to know what's going on. Of course, long-term fans would love the Easter eggs and learning more about the world of Fate Stay, but this is still a great opportunity for new fans to jump in. Number 1. Finland Saga. A brilliant sense of adventure and a fun and interesting historically authentic setting. Finland Saga is a pretty big name across anime veterans and is a series that we definitely recommend you check out. Set mostly in England after it had been conquered by the Danish king, we follow the king, old and nearing death, with his 2 sons arguing over who gets to be king and rule after their father passes away. The story itself draws heavily from a number of famous and well-known historical events, but with some exciting additions that make Finland Saga an absolutely brilliant watch. The story itself follows a young boy by the name of Thorfinn that lives a peaceful life in Iceland. His father, Thor, a Viking commander, abandoned his ship during a sea battle around 15 years ago, and the story picks up with the arrival of an old friend that calls him back into battle. With twists and turns and deaths at every single corner, there is never a moment of rest in Finland Saga, a clearly defined and well-outlined anime series that understands exactly the direction in which it's headed with a rich and strong core storyline.